This globe here has an atmosphere around it, which you can think of as a big blanket. If the Earth didn't have an atmosphere, it would generally be around 0 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty cold. Because of our atmosphere, it allows the average temperature to be closer to 60. There's different gases in the atmosphere that help hold in and retain this heat. You may have heard of the term greenhouse gases before, and these substances are what hold in the heat. Greenhouse gases are essential for us to live. However, having too much of them can be a bad thing. Too much of these greenhouse gases can lead to climate change. But the real question I want to answer here is, how do soils impact climate change? In some areas where there's wet, freshwater environments that don't have a lot of oxygen, a great example is a rice paddy, a process called methanogenesis can cause dying plant material and bacteria to form methane. Methane is a potent greenhouse gas, and it's about 23 times more powerful than carbon dioxide. Another great example is through denitrification. Think about a farm in the Midwest that's growing a lot of crops, and they constantly are applying fertilizer. They may be applying excess fertilizer where the plants aren't going to use all of the nutrients that are given to them. A lot of the fertilizers applied either start off as ammonium or nitrate. Ammonium can turn into nitrate, and that nitrate can be denitrified by bacteria, which actually releases that into the atmosphere. That nitrogen released into the atmosphere is a gas known as nitrous oxide, which is yet another greenhouse gas that will trap heat in the atmosphere. Just to clear up any confusion, N2 is regular nitrogen that you'll see in the atmosphere. It's about what 71% of the atmosphere is composed of, but N2O is nitrous oxide, and that is the potent greenhouse gas. One more example to add is that as the Earth continues to warm, there's a lot of soils near the poles that were once permanently frozen, known as permafrost, and as those soils begin to melt, there's a lot of methane trapped in those soils. That methane gets released into the atmosphere and adds to the greenhouse gases. Not every process in soil leads to releasing greenhouse gases. There are processes that will take them in as well, and a great example of that is photosynthesis. Plants take in carbon dioxide as they continue to grow, and that carbon gets turned into a solidified form, which is about 90% of what the plants are made out of. When the plants die, that plant material is still holding on to the carbon, and that gets worked into the soil over periods of time and is broken down by microorganisms. Soils can be known as either a source or a sink. A sink will take in greenhouse gases, a source will release them, and right now most of our soils are acting as a source. But if we change practices in applications such as agriculture, soils can be known as more of a sink and less of a source.